How's it going, guys? We're now in Season 4 of my Detroit Red Wings franchise mode series. As you guys can see here, the NHL team has 92 offense and 93 defense and 87 goaltending. AHL team there, 84 offense, 86 defense, 80 goaltending. So AHL team is very solid. NHL team is also looking pretty good too. Just going to give you guys a quick look at the lineup. I think I'm going to make one trade here at the beginning of the year. Just try and help, I think, make things go more smooth. So as you guys can see there, first line's really solid. Skinner, Strome, and Reinhart. Second line, same as last year. Mantha, Wenberg, and Larkin. Third line there, we have Clayton Keller, Athanasiou, and Sprong. And fourth line here, we have Grabner, Harkins, and Tyler Bertuzzi. Defense here, top pair is really solid there with Murray and McAvoy. Trouba and Bean on the second pair, and then Werenski and Juleson on the third. In goal, we still have Matt Murray as our starter, with Binnington now backing him up. AHL team here, Svechnikov, Bracco, and Ty Ratty on the first line. They should honestly tear it up. Same with the second line, honestly. Smith, Spacek, and Comtois. Third line there, we have Hischier, Moran, and Vlardy. So two of our first round picks on the wing. Moran guy in the middle. That should be a solid line as well. And then even the fourth line there, you got Haberch. I think his name is Vegetamo and Case. So AHL team looks really, really good. Even like the defense here, like that's an NHL top, or the top pair would be like an NHL bottom pair with Shabbat and Jones. Second pair there, you have Green and Carlo, and then third pair is Dermott and Sarah Jarvie. So what I'm thinking is we'll actually trade Werenski to call up Shabbat, as his potential is a medium top 4. He's the same overall as Werenski, but he's grown a lot more over the past couple years. I think he'll probably end up being the better player, so rather give him that NHL ice time. I think Werenski hasn't grown at all since we traded for him. Started season 1, so like 3 years ago. AHL started there, Vavalainen still, and then the backup is Lamb. So like I was saying, I'm going to try and trade Werenski here before we start off the season. Once we do that, though, we'll get going with the sim. Hopefully, this will be the first year we actually make the playoffs. Also, guys, forgot to show you the owner goals. As you can see, the state of the team is now a contender. So 3 straight years, no playoffs, but now he expects us to contend for the Stanley Cup. His happiness is also neutral, probably because we kind of underperformed last year. Primary goal there is to have 37 sellouts at home, which shouldn't be too hard. Secondary goals boost fan happiness to 72, and then boost team chemistry by 5 to 68. So, I mean, all 3 of those seem very doable. Not really any big payouts, but obviously that would make the owner happy, which is always a good thing. So we're here, guys, we're trying to make a trade with St. Louis, trading them Harkins, who's our 4th line center, but I figured he's kind of like the worst forward we have, so definitely can upgrade him. With Zach Werenski, obviously going to have Shabbat replace him. A couple unsigned prospects there, both defensemen, not great potential, but St. Louis wants them. With a 7th round pick, hopefully that's like the extra little bit, get this trade to go through. I'm trying to get back Barbashev, would be an awesome center for us. Probably be the 2nd line center, move down Wenberg to the 3rd line center, as Wenberg hasn't grown, but he should be fine at the 3rd line spot. Barbashev, though, 23 years old, medium top 6, looks to have very good skating, shooting, and puck skills, so probably could be very good on that line there with Larkin and Mantha. And then this Pellich guy there is just for the roster spot. Plus, we could add him to our AHLD, 78 overall. He's not too bad. So the value's on our side. Let's see what St. Louis says. Trade ejected. Let's see if maybe we can like bump that 7th up to, say, I don't even know, maybe a 4th, honestly. Like, it shouldn't take that much more. We're pretty much right there. So let's try going with like our 4th. Looks to have the most value. Here we go. Trade rejected still. Okay, maybe we have to give them that 2nd in next year's. Oh, that seems like way too much. What about a 3rd the year after? Let's try a 3rd. They want the 3rd. This should be fine. Please go through. Oh my god. Okay. Last time here. Let's try a 2nd next year. We'll have like no picks in 2021, so hopefully we're good. Otherwise, we are screwed. This is a lot to give up, but I mean, the 2 picks are the 2 players only matter. Werenski replaced immediately. Harkins, Spacek, and Bracco are literally the exact same player. So we're basically giving up like a 2nd round pick. Here we go. Okay, so we're calling up Shabbat, so finally went through. So I just finished streaming through the month of October, guys. As you can see here, we have a 5-5 record. AHL team that was killing it, 6-2. Fan happiness there, 69. Locker room chemistry, 74. So 5-5 is not too bad, especially too about halfway through the month. Charlie McAvoy got injured, so our best defenseman by far, 93 overall. I think he's supposed to be back in November. So hopefully when he's back, we'll start winning some more. Until then, though, obviously don't want to make any more changes. Just kind of wait and see how things go. Alright, guys, we're now at the end of November here. Ray with a record now, 13-18-1. AHL team there is also doing really well, 14-4-1. Fan happiness, 94. Locker room chemistry there, 78. One thing that sucks is that McAvoy, when he came back, he actually got injured like the very next game. I think he came back like on the 16th, the game against the Leafs, and then literally the next day that I simmed, he got injured, or probably got injured during that game, and it showed up the next day. So McAvoy is still out, which sucks, but we're doing pretty good without him. As you can see, currently 3rd place in the division, 27 points, only 2 behind Buffalo there, so that's 1 win. We are definitely like still very much in the playoff race, which is awesome to see. Alright, guys, so I swear Charlie McAvoy is cursed. He was supposed to come back the middle of December, and he just did. Literally, again, the next game he gets injured, and he's injured until February 10th. Like, I have no idea. It just seems so ridiculous at this point, but Hopefully when he comes back in February, he'll be good for the playoffs if we do indeed make it. So we're not into December here, guys. We have a record of 23-11-3, so continuing to play very well. Same with the AHL team there, 20-11-1. Fan happiness is 92. That's also awesome to see. Locker room chemistry is at 80, which is also a big upgrade. I think it was like 65 beginning of the season. So so far everything's looking up for this year. Like I was saying, we can just get Charlie McAvoy back in time for the playoffs. He's supposed to be back in February, but I mean, he keeps getting injured, so we'll see, I guess, what happens with him. But if he can remain healthy for the rest of the season, that would be a huge upgrade to the team. So we're not at the All-Star game here, guys, in January, and I had a really rough month. I've only gotten 1 win so far in January. I think 1 win, 2 overtime losses. The rest are all losses, so we went like 1-7-2 or something. Not good at all. Still 24-17-5, which isn't bad. I'm not really sure why we're playing so bad. Like, other than McAvoy, no one else is injured. So, I'm not sure what it is. Still in the playoff spot, though, which is good. 53 points there. 1 point back of Leafs for second. 3 point back of Montreal there for first. So, I mean, the fact we're still in it, even after that bad of a performance, is, like, obviously very, very good. Just kind of shows how good we were playing before that. In the entire league right now, let's see where we are. We're 13th place. So, I mean, we're still on track to make the playoffs, which hopefully we do. It really sucks. We just collapsed now. I'm going to take a look here and just see who our leading scorers are at the halfway point. So Strome, obviously, 41 points, 46 games. He's playing really well. Reinhardt there, 38. Sprong, 38. Wow, he's doing a lot better than I expected. Still an 82 for some reason. That's crazy. And he's bounced between like the second and third line. It's kind of like him and Mantha rotating. Skinner there, 37. Larkin, 30. Barbashev, 28. He's done really well, actually, since we traded for him. Mantha 25, Wenberg there 22 on the third line's not too bad. Shabbat's got 24, that's really impressive as well. Might actually bump him, or actually Jake Bean's even got 21, so I mean they're both looking really good. Murray's got a lot less there at 11, but obviously higher overall, more of a defensive defenseman. So I mean, honestly, there's a lot to look forward to here from this team. A lot of guys with potential. Hopefully they can just kind of like reach that potential sooner rather than later. Murray here, 2.78 goals against, not the greatest record. This Lamb guy, though, I called him up when Binnington got injured at one point. He went 7-0 with a 1.69 goals against somehow. I sent him back down to the AHL to be the backup. Maybe I should call him back up to be the NHL backup. 7-0. I don't even know how he did that. Or 9 games played. Doesn't make any sense. 7 wins, 0 losses, 0 shutout losses. I don't know if I'm just missing something, but that doesn't add up. Either way, though, that guy had a crazy run in the little stint he had in NHL, so maybe that's just a good sign of things to come from the AHL goalies. Obviously, though, I think I'm just going to leave him in the AHL for now. Probably a fluke, although you never know. I'm going to take a look now here as well at the All-Star players, see who made it from our team. I'm guessing it's probably Strome. Let's see here. So we got Tavares, McDavid, Tarasenko. Hopefully I actually had a player make it. I know the first couple years we didn't. And hopefully, too, I just don't overlook the player. We got Kucherov, Forsberg, Taylor Hall. Come on. Let's hopefully have a player. I don't see. It looks like I just went through it all. Or maybe not. DeKaiser. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like we have a player. So, I mean, no one outstanding this year. So, I guess it's okay. We didn't have anyone. I'm just kind of like double checking right now. And, yeah, it doesn't look like we have a player in the All-Star game. Or maybe we probably do, but no one worthy enough to get a tweet, unfortunately. Alright, guys, so Charlie McAvoy has to be glitched. He came back on February 4th for the game against the Blues, and then on February 5th, I got this notification saying he's injured until March 2020. I mean, I've never seen this happen before. Like, this has to be a glitch. The dude gets healthy 3 times and then immediately injured in the next game. It makes no sense. That or it's like, or no, it's a different thing every time. He's got a broken right foot now. I'm pretty sure before it was like concussion or something. So I have no idea. It's really annoying, though. Alright, guys, we're not at the trade deadline here at the end of February. As you can see, we have a record of 34, 23, and 5. AHL team still killing it, 36, 18, and 3. Fan happiness there, 77. Locker room chemistry, 80. As you can see, the trade deadline there is the first day of March. So, obviously, we have to take a look at where we are in the standings before we decide what action we'll take. 73 points, second place there, 3 behind Montreal. So, McAvoy's supposed to be back in 3 weeks, I think. If I take a look at the injury report, obviously if he can actually stay healthy for the first time this season, that'd be huge. Or 4 weeks away. So I mean, yeah, like I was saying earlier on in the year, we just need him back for the playoffs, I think. We have a lot of cap space, so maybe we can get a rental player for cheap. Honestly, this is their first time making the playoffs, so I'd love to actually make a run at it. We still have some pretty good players on cheap deals, so this honestly might be a perfect time to just add some assets and see what happens. Alright, guys, so I was looking through the teams, and I seen that Minnesota has Ryan Suter on the trading block. Obviously, he's pretty old right now. I think he's like 35. He's 35, still a 93 overall, though. Top 2 defenseman, still has elite potential, but he's got 6 years left on his $7 million deal. So I'm going to try and see if they'll keep 50% of that. A 93 overall defenseman for $3.6 million would be an absolute steal. Obviously, we'll have to give them a bit more to get that to go through. Trying to trade them this green guy here. He's kind of like a fringe D-man for us. He got called up to the NHL and we had injured players. Other than that, though, he's been in the AHL. Lundqvist here is a pretty good prospect goalie, but we have some other ones, and they want him. Carlo is a good AHL defenseman, but again, they want him, has some value. If it gets us Ryan Suter, definitely worth trading him. And then a couple 4th-round picks there just to try and push this over the edge. So I might say no simply because of the 50% and the term, but I mean, Suter's probably going to retire in like 3 years anyway, so you never know. Let's see what they say here. Trade ejected. Yeah, they don't want to keep that much salary. So I mean, Suter, I could definitely have them keep less. 3.6 would be a little crazy, but maybe if they keep at least $2 million, then we're only going to pay him $5 million. I think that's a bit more fair. Maybe they say yes to this. Trade rejected. Still not interested in the deal. I'm going to try swapping out those 2 fourths for a second in 2022. As you can see, that pushes the value way on our side, and I only have them retaining $2 million now, which isn't too bad. Like, that's kind of what it costs probably to buy the guy out or buy a bad contract out. So they're getting a second, Carlo, Lundqvist, and Green. So 2 solid defensive prospects, solid goalie prospect, and a second for Ryan Suter, who they want to ship out. I think it's a pretty good deal. Let's see what Minnesota says. Trade accepted. There we go. That's a huge addition. So I think that's the only trade to make the deadline, guys. I think our team is pretty solid. Just look at the forward group here. I mean, Sprong is playing a lot better than an 82. And then like our bottom 6 depth, we have 3 84s on the 4th line. Can't get much better than that. Defense here, once we get McAvoy back, we'll have 2 93s on the top pair. It'll be Murray and Trouba, and then it'll be Bean and Juleson. So Shabbat will probably just go back down to the AHL. Goalies, obviously Murray's an 86. We could get better, but only real option I think was Bishop, an 87, who had a lot of term left, so it didn't make sense for like a trade to go up 1 overall. Also Barbashev, who was an 88. He also had a lot of salary in terms, so again, 2 overall. For that trade value and then getting that salary back just didn't make sense to me. So I feel like that trade we made for Suter will be a huge trade, especially once we get McAvoy back in time for the playoffs. And until then, Suter can kind of be like our #1 guy. So let's see how the team does after that trade. I'm excited. I think they're going to do very well. All right, guys, so we're finally at the end of the season here. We finished with a record of 48, 26, and 8, so very good season. AHL team too, 47, 20, and 4. Fan happiness is at 71 as a bunch of the stuff needs repaired, but don't have any more finances, so what are you going to do? We actually had a really good end of the season after the trade deadline. I think Suter helped us out, especially when McAvoy got back and actually stayed healthy. That was a huge boost. As you can see there, 104 points, actually won the division, which is awesome to see. The team ratings there too, 93 offense, 96 defense, 87 goaltending. The defense definitely went up after we traded for Suter. So let's take a look here and see just where we finished in terms of the entire league, who the leading scorers were, all that stuff before we get started with the playoffs for the first time. So we actually finished 4th in the league, 104 points, not bad at all. Columbus there, though, won the East with 113 points. They actually won the entire NHL. So, I mean, obviously a huge turnaround from last season. All of our rebuilding finally paid off. And I think if Suter can, not retire for a couple of years, he could actually be a huge addition to us hopefully winning the Stanley Cup. So, Skinner here, we signed as a free agent, 73 points, 81 games, our leading scorer. So, obviously that paid off big. Reinhardt there at 70, Strome 66, Sprong at 62, still an 82. He's also injured right now, but just a short injury, I think, for 1 more week. Barbashev there at 58. I'm really liking that trade. I wish he would be at least an 86. Not sure why he didn't get boosted. Suter there, 56 points. Obviously, a lot of that was for Minnesota, but still good to see that he's having production. Larkin there, 56. Isn't too bad at all for a second-line winger. Bean had 45. That's pretty good. Mantha, 43. Wenberg, 42. Shabbat, 32. And, I mean, he was playing on the 3rd line, so obviously he's a very good offensive defenseman. He's actually in the AHL now, but hopefully he'll help with the AHL team, I guess. And if anyone gets injured, he'll be the first D-man we call up. Grabner, Athanasiou, pretty good production there for the 2 4th-line guys, just under 30 points. Keller, 26. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy to see all these guys. McAvoy, as you can see, only played 15 games. He did have 8 points, though, so that's one thing that kind of sucks. Take a look at the goalies here just to see how good Murray did. So 2.57 goals against is okay. Not really the greatest. 9.13 save percentage, though, is pretty good. And then 1 shutout there. Let's take a look at the AHL team now as well, as they did have a very good year. Vavalainen here, 5 shutouts, 0.9 save percentage, 2.53 goals against. So, I mean, he could have better stats. Hopefully, though, we had some really good AHL players. Spotcheck here, 62 points, pretty solid. I think Bracco right now is, there he is, 49 and 59. I expected a bit better. Ratty, though, 51. Svechnikov, 50. Comtois, 49. So, I mean, we do have some AHL players that are definitely playing pretty well. Hashir put up 29 and 51. He's constantly, scratched and not scratched. I have to, go in myself and out of the team lineup, which kind of sucks. Vegetable, the same thing, 23 and 37. For some reason, like the assistant coach keeps wanting to play like Nosek and some other guys, and I have assistant coach turned off. Like this Ford guy is terrible. Constantly puts him in, probably just because he's like older, good defensive guy. But every time someone gets injured, I do best lines. I have to go and fix it, which is kind of annoying. But what are you gonna do? Shabbat. I thought he played more than just one game in AHL this year, but I guess he didn't. So let's also check the entire league now, just to see who the leading scorers were. Skinner with the 70 points or whatever, I don't think is going to be anywhere close. Probably going to be like Crosby, or actually probably Stamkos. Let's take a look. Patty Kane, 108 points. Wow, he did a great year. Tarasenko, 103. Tavares, 98. Taves, Galchenyuk. There's Stamkos. Crosby actually only had 81. Kucherov, Stastny went off. I think probably playing with Tarasenko helped him there. Forsberg, Sagan, Penn, Barkov. Wow. Hall. Schwartz, that whole St. Louis line was actually unreal. I don't even see, there's Delcall, 75 points, that's crazy. Obviously, we're going to move on to the playoffs now, and hopefully we got a good matchup. We did finish first in the Atlantic, so we'll be playing one of the wildcard teams. Would love to at least win one round, don't want to like finally make it to the playoffs and just get bounced first round. We'll get that started and see how it goes. And as you guys can see here, we actually passed 2 owner goals. The one was to have 37 home sellouts, the other to boost team chemistry. I think the third one had to do with fan happiness, so not sure when they'll check that. Jake Bean is injured. That sucks. So I guess I'll just call up Shabbat like I was saying before. Probably just keep him up for the entire playoffs at this point, honestly. I'm not sure exactly how long he's out for. Jones is an 81, but Shabbat will be higher, especially I think when he like gets the morale boost from me calling him up. Just accidentally simmed the first game. I just realized we were playing Pittsburgh. How they're a wildcard team, I have no idea. That is a tough first round matchup. Oh crap, I just simmed the first 2 games. Jake Bean's already back. Okay, never mind. So 3-2 loss, followed up by a 2-1 OT loss. We are going to have to play catch up here big time, but maybe we can go to Pittsburgh, get it done. So first period here, Skinner opens up the scoring. Clayton Keller in the second. Chiasson and Crosby pushing it to OT. There we go, though. Grabner with the OT winner. They had some guy named Jerry in net. No idea who that is. So either Fleury retired, or I think Fleury actually might have retired. I'm trying to remember. Or he's injured and have just a random crap goalie in net. Hopefully we can find a way to score on him. AHL team obviously is in the playoffs now too. Daniel Sprong is back, so that is huge. Let's sim this next game here. Would love to tie it up 2-2. I could also send Shabbat and Bracco both down to the AHL. Help out that team. Keller, Strome, and Rust scoring in the first. Suter there in the second, and Larkin in the third. So there we go, big 4-1 win, tying the series up 2 apiece. I think for the first time this season, our entire team is finally healthy. First line there, Skinner, Strome, Reinhart. I mean, that's sick first line. The rest of the forward depth's really solid. Top pair D there, Suter and McAvoy is just so dirty. You got Trouba and Murray on the second, and then Bean and Juleson on the third. Murray starting. I mean, I really like this team. They came back, they tied up with Pittsburgh. I think there's a chance we can make a run. Like, other than Murray, the team is pretty much, you know, what you kind of expect in a Cap era team, especially too if something like the younger players can gain some potential. You never know, they could maybe even get better during the playoffs. So tied 2-2 here with Pittsburgh, heading back to Detroit. I was going to say the Joe, but I mean, technically we're probably playing at like the Little Caesar Arena at this point. So let's see if we can get it done here. First period, Barbashev scores, and actually they have Mrazek in net. I forgot we traded him for Murray. That's kind of funny. So it's 1-0. Larkin gets one on Mrazek, 2-0. And Skinner, Bertuzzi, McAvoy, huge third period there, 5-1 win. So we're now 1 win away from moving on. That'd be great if we could actually get past Pittsburgh. I feel like they're probably one of the toughest opponents. So to get past them in the first round would be a huge statement. Just got to do a quick scout here. I don't think I've gone to Russia yet, so I'll probably check. Oh, I have. Never mind. I usually like to just kind of spread it out. SHL has some forwards, so I'll probably spend like 3 weeks there. I usually spend the majority of the time in the junior leagues, like CHL leagues, I should say. Probably at least 50%, and then the rest of the time I spend random places searching random positions. So game 6 here, guys. First period, Skinner and Malkin each score. Pouliot there in the second. We need to get one here. Push us to game 7, but they just go off. Chiasson, Crosby, and Bennett for them. Strome for us, but 5-2 loss there. So 5-1 win followed up with a 5-2 loss. Heading to game 7 at home. I feel like we can definitely get it done. Jake Bean is now injured. I feel like constantly this year it's just been like injuries, and I can't get away from it. It's so annoying. Especially too, not only just like the pain of having to constantly edit the lines, but just never having your full team healthy. Who knows how good we could have really done if our team was just even a little bit healthy. Like if McAvoy didn't only play 15 games, or just constantly guys dropping. But we're in Game 7 here, the first round, so can't complain too much. One game away here from the second round of the playoffs. Let's get it done. Suter and Grabner each get a goal there in the first. Shiri and Letang, they'll answer back. Here we go, third period. Going to OT, oh man. Bucci overtime challenge. I'm calling Strome. Okay, we're going to OT too. Tyler Bertuzzi, there you go. OT hero. We are moving on to round 2. That was a crazy one. Alright, so Barbashev's now injured. Perfect. This is just getting so ridiculous at this point. Like, I can't have a healthy team. Probably just going to call it Bracco. Like, whoever gives us the best chance to win, really, is who I'm going to call up and just hope he has some impact. Probably just means Wenberg will go to the second line. Yeah, Bracco's playing fourth line. So, I like those lines for the most part. We'll put Keller there on the third line left wing, give that line some more scoring. So in the second round of the playoffs here, guys, against the Montreal Canadiens, and I just realized the AHL team actually lost the first round of the Charlotte Checkers 3-1. No idea how they lost. Like, the AHL team was so good. I'd have to actually go back and check, but I think they finished like top of their division. They were such a good team. Somehow just got upset there in the first round, but we don't really care about the AHL team. We care more about the NHL team. Going up against Montreal here. First game of the second round, I should say. No scores in the first period or the second. Third period, though, we go off. Sprong, Bertuzzi, and Reinhardt. They have JVR on their team now. It's kind of interesting. So a big 3-1 win there. Team finally came through. We actually have home ice advantage in this series as well, which I guess makes sense. We did win the division. It's just the next round we might not have it if we meet up with Columbus. So we'd love to go up 2-0 here. Maybe get a sweep on Montreal. That'd be pretty cool. First period, Chabot and Larkin. So Chabot, the big call-up, gets the goal. JVR scores there after mentioning him. And Skinner gets one. Radulov and Byron each get one, though. So it's 3-3 going to OT. Juleson there with the OT winner. So it's like fourth line guys, third pairing D. They're the ones that are the OT heroes. I love seeing that. So we are now up by 2. Heading to Montreal. Would love to get the win here. If we can go up 3-0, I would feel much more comfortable. So let's see what happens. Team's playing good. Can't complain. Mike Green, I forgot we traded him to Montreal. Or did we trade him to Montreal? I'm pretty sure we did. Either that he signed there as a free agent. I can't remember. We traded away so many Red Wings at the beginning of the franchise mode just to try and get picks and prospects. Third period now, down by 1. Sprong ties it up. Here we go. Going to OT. Unfortunately, though, Mateau there gets the winner for them. So, I mean, the fact that we were like 1 goal away from going up 3-0 against Montreal, that's huge still. Sam Reinhart's injured, though. That's not good. May 28th, he's out for a month. So, 90 overall winger. That is tough to replace. We're already without Barbashev and I think it was Jake Bean. So, we'll need a winger. I guess we'll call up Ratty. The AHL team's out of the playoffs anyway. Like, honestly, the injuries just are killing us this year. I mean, we're still in it, so I can't complain like I said earlier, but without these injuries, I feel like we would just be dominating. So, let's see what happens here. In Game 4, we need this win. I don't want to get tied up now with Montreal. And Pacioretty has a hat trick in the first period, and like that was in 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes. That's crazy. Nothing in the second, and Chabot gets one in the third, so not a good sign. Pacioretty just goes off with a hat trick. Team answers back with 1 goal in the third period. Alright, so we're heading back to Detroit. We need this win. We can't lose now. Jake Bean's healthy. That's a good sign. Chabot might honestly play over him. He's been playing good. Or never mind, they scratched him. Whatever, I don't care. Here we go. McAvoy scores. What a second period. Jeez. Okay, so we had 5 goals. Keller, Strome, Larkin, Sprong, Bracco. They had 2. We're now up 6-2. And they get 1 in the third. That's the most goals I think I've ever seen in a period. 6 goals in 1 period. That was crazy. 6-3 win, though. That's huge. Jeff Skinner's injured. Are you kidding me? Like, so I think Chabot's going to be playing 4th line left wing now is what's happening there. Alright, Barbashev's back, so probably not now. I have no idea. I'm just going to keep simming here. I don't even want to look at it. I want to pretend like it's all good and just hopefully we can get by this round. Here we go. Strome and Larkin getting it done in the first. Barbashev, Galchenyuk. We're up by 2, 1 period to go. And there we go. We are moving on to the Eastern Conference Final. I think, honestly, Chabot was playing 4th line wing for us that game. So the fact that we got that done, or maybe not, because Barbashev came back. I don't know. I'm not even going to look at it like I said. I'm just going to keep it going. Like, we're winning somehow, even with all these injuries. And as you can see there, we are going to be playing Columbus in the Eastern Conference Final. So they got the home ice advantage. I'll quickly do this scout, and then we'll get started. Accidentally simmed the first game, guys, and as you can see, we won 2-1. So, I mean, if we win, I can't complain. Obviously, can't see who scored, but that's okay. So, up 1-0 against Columbus. Awesome start there. Nothing here in the second game in the first period or the second period. Third period, they just went off. Jenner with 2, Dubinsky with 1. So, tied it up there, but I mean, we got one win in Columbus, so I'm very, very happy with that. We can come back now, back-to-back wins in Detroit, go up 3-1 in the series, and that would be awesome to see. So here you go. Hopefully we can make this happen. Third game here. No goals in the first. Jenner gets one there in the second. Bertuzzi ties it up, going to OT. Borkstrand there, though, with the OT winner. So down by 1. All we got to do, though, is tie it, and that's just a best of 3, and anything can happen. Dylan Strome is injured. Are you kidding me? We'll just go best lines there. Shabbat's getting angry, so maybe they'll play him on, like, forward or something. I don't know. I don't really want him to get angry. It might ruin his morale, so I don't want to send him down or anything. Really, only chance to fix it is playing him. So here we go, fourth game, first period. Dubinsky. This is not looking good. Bertuzzi gets one. Bertuzzi's been pretty clutch. He scores late. Unfortunately, that one goal was not enough. So down 3-1 now. Shabbat's happy he was dressed. Now he's unhappy. He didn't get played enough. Whatever. We need to win the next 3 games straight. Stroman's back. That's a huge boost. All right, here we go. I mean, if we had Reinhardt, if we had our healthy team, I feel like we're winning this series. But can't complain. Let's see what happens. Barbashev and Larkin. Wow, what an answer. Dubois, Dubinsky, Shore, and Borkstrand. 4 goals in the second. Yeah, I didn't think we were coming back from that. Wow, just a big statement game there. Big statement period from Columbus. Taking us out in 5 games. And Sprong, of course, just gets injured. That's pretty much just like the narrative for this season. Just constant injuries. I mean, even with all those injuries, we still made it to the Eastern Conference Final, losing to the best team in the league, Columbus Blue Jackets, who won the President's Trophy. Shabbat just got a lot less morale for being scratched, but the playoffs are over, so that shouldn't count. EA is so dumb. It's just annoying me. But anyway, guys, I'm very happy this season. Like I said, lots and lots of injuries, but Eastern Conference Final, how can you not be happy with that, especially after 3 straight years of no playoffs? I think next year might be our chance to win the Stanley Cup. Right here, guys, look at the draft lottery results. Colorado, they're picking first. Minnesota's picking 13th, so I guess that's why they wanted to move on from Suter. Team's not doing so good. Fan happiness, we failed boosting to a 72, even though it was above a 72 at points in the season. I think it's kind of dumb that judges it based on the end of the year, especially we went to the Eastern Conference Final. How are they not happier than a 70? But whatever. Ryan Suter retired. Wow, I did not expect that. 93 overall, 92 now, 35 years old. I thought he would at least go one more year. That really sucks. I mean, that was the risk I took, I guess. We gave up not that much, like I was saying. Like, everything we gave up was not a big deal aside from the second round pick. And we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, so I mean, can't complain. I just thought he'd go at least one more year, like low 90 and you're 35. What are you going to do, though? Let's see who else retired. I'm a bit bummed by that. Just on top of all the unlucky injuries, Suter retires. You got Jason Spezza here, Corey Perry, Zach Parise. Like, all these guys, look how much lower rated they are than Suter. Suter's probably going to end up being the highest rated guy here. Brent Burns retired, 88 overall. Yeah, Suter's highest rated one. I know I'm just bitching this episode, but I am I'm pretty salty here from some of the stuff that's happened. One thing that's kind of funny, before I traded for Suter, I was looking at both Bouwmeester and Giordano. Bouwmeester was only an 85, and then Giordano had like the same value as Suter, but 6 overall below. Both those guys retired, so I'm glad I didn't trade for them. The rest of these guys there aren't that great. Take a look at the goalies here. Let's see. Probably there'll be somebody decent retiring. Marc-Andre Fleury, I was wondering where he was. He was on Arizona. Pecorine as well. Niemi there. Smith, Budai, Gustafsson. So some pretty big names there. Like I was saying, I'm still just pretty upset Suter decided to call it quits on us. I thought he might have made, one more run at the Cup next year, but his decision, I guess. Before we get to the draft, guys, I first want to show you the awards. Also, I'm noticing the AHL team there had 50 wins, so I mean, they probably did finish really high. Stanley Cup champions there, the Columbus Blue Jackets, so they lost to the eventual Stanley Cup winner, which isn't too bad. That's kind of like the best case scenario, if you can say, you lost to the winner. We'll take a look at all the other awards here. President's Trophy, Columbus, we know that. Clarence Campbell, Anaheim. Prince of Wales, Columbus. Player awards here, Patty Kane with the Art Ross and the Hart. Klingberg with the James Norris. Kane with the Lady Byng. Sprong with the Calder. I didn't even realize that was his rookie year, so I don't think I've ever had a player win the Calder. It doesn't happen very often, so that is awesome to see. Conn Smythe, Jenner. Korpisalo, Vesna. Jones there with the William M. Jennings. Chichen with the Bill Masterson. Kopitar with the Selke. Kane with the Ted Lindsay. And then Tarasenko with the Maurice Richard. Also, guys, one thing I was just thinking, too. Sprong won the Calder, still an 82 overall, so I'm thinking this summer he should get a huge boost. Calder Cup here, the Charlotte Checkers, they beat our AHL team, so both of our teams lost to the eventual champions. Let's see, our team was the regular season champion for the Western Conference, okay, and of course they won their division, so yeah, they had a really good regular season, just got beat out by Charlotte. Let's see if we had any AHL award winners here. Mike Richards is playing the AHL for Charlotte and won the MVP of the playoffs. That's pretty funny. But no awards, unfortunately. So still a lot to look forward to. Like I was saying, we have a lot of very, very good young players. Also, I just realized too, I could probably show you guys the playoff stats for our players to kind of see who came up clutch in the playoffs. So Larkin there, 12 points, 18 games. That's good to see. McAvoy at 11. So after being injured all year, he finally came through. Strong with 10. Skinner there. Bertuzzi, like I was saying, 7 points. Pretty good for him, like fourth line guy. He was doing well. The rest of the guys just kind of pitching in. We'll take a look here at the goalies, how Matt Murray did. I feel like his stats aren't too great. 2.32 against, .922. So, I mean, better than the regular season, but still not amazing. Alright, guys, so we have the 28th pick here in the first round of the draft. Just going to take a look and see, like, who the top 5 guys were. So, elite left-wing playmaker, elite defenseman, another elite winger, low elite grinder, low elite playmaking center, bunch of top 6s. Doesn't look like any other team got an elite. So, I mean, maybe there's still one available. Probably not, but hopefully we can at least get like a top 6 with our first round pick. I mean, I held on to it the whole time. I could have traded it, but I wanted to try and get another nice prospect. Hedman here is probably a top 6. Not projected to go until the 3rd round, but I mean, why risk someone taking him? Also, I don't think I have a 2nd or a 3rd, so I might just have to kind of reach on him now in the 1st round, but might be worth it. Let's see for exact. You got top 6 Ds, so yeah, I think I'm just going to reach on this Hedman guy, as he looks to be the best available. He should be a top 6, please. Low top 6, I mean, we'll take that. So like I was saying, guys, our next pick isn't until the 4th round. Here we have pick number 8. I think we have 3 4th round picks. I don't think I traded any. I might have, though, and I just might be forgetting. So lots of AHL stuff available. We got some bomb 6 forwards, a medium backup goalie. Wouldn't mind taking a chance on him, especially after we traded ours. Low starter, so that's not too bad. There was actually a low starter that got drafted in the 1st round, so pretty good value, I guess, for the 4th. Next pick here, guys, pick number 12 in the 4th round. So again, if we can just get something that's not AHL, essentially, like, that would be awesome. Couple bomb 6s here. Let's go for Rieger. He could be, like, I don't even know. Low top 9, like, that's good. Final 4th round pick here. This is our actual pick. Pick number 28. So far, so good this draft. That, or wait, was that the guy I was looking at? Yeah, Alexandrov, bomb 6 forward. He could also be like a low top 6, or low top 9, I mean, which is, he is, and that's awesome for the 4th round. Pick number 12 here in the 5th round. I think we have 2 5ths, 1 6th, and 2 7ths, something like that. Let's see if we can avoid more AHL players. Okay, it's gonna looks pretty tough, but there's a 7th D we could take. I might just take him right now for the safe pick. A low 7th D. I was hoping it was maybe like high 7th D, but that's fine. It's not AHL, and that's basically all I'm trying to avoid. I don't want the AHL, basically. I want low bottom 6 forward even would be better. So, not going to take any of the exact AHL top 6 forward guys. Moyer here, unknown. I don't know. These guys could be like low bottom 6. There's a really good chance, actually, they're probably low bottom 6. High AHL top 4 D. Okay, that's actually not very good. Geez, let's just go Atkinson, high league interest. Maybe he's low bottom 6. Medium AHL top 6. That's alright. Next pick here, guys. We have pick number 28 in the 6th round. So I think we actually have, 1 6th and 2 7ths is what it is. Let me see here. Projected. Let's see if there's like any unknown guys. Maybe just take a chance on them. AHL top 2 D is actually not terrible. Stankowski here, unknown goalie. Let's take another goalie. Who knows? AHL starter. That's pretty bad. 7th round now, just looking for value. Last couple picks for AHL. Would love to get a non-AHL player. Another goalie who's unknown. There's also a defenseman unknown. We already have 2 goalies from this draft. Let's take the defenseman. He's AHL top 2 Ds, so I mean, could have been worse for an unknown player, I guess. Right here, we have the 3rd last pick in the draft. So I mean, if we can get even a bomb 6 forward here, that would be awesome. There's a goalie, though. Should I take another goalie? I feel like I might. Like, who knows? What is he going to be? An AHL starter. I mean, it's better than the other goalie we took, so whatever. Alright, guys, we're now at the re-sign phase here. We have $22.3 million in cap space. A lot of guys to re-sign, though. Dylan Strom's the first one. He's going to get a big raise. He was on like an entry-level deal, or basically an entry-level deal, I think, beforehand. $5.8 million for 3 years. He just gets more expensive. So we want him cheap. I think like 3 years, like this next 3 years is our best chance to win a cup. All of our guys are in their prime. So let's see if he'll take, say, 5.25 for 3 years. I think that's pretty fair. Wenberg's locked up. Barbashev also needs a new deal. 4.6 for 2. Let's see if he'll do like 4.25 for 2. We're not going to have a lot of cap space left, I can already tell. Athanasiu, okay, let's see if we can get him at 2.25. Just trying to like save 500k on everybody. It'll add up. Spot check here. He's kind of like a tweener. 1 million for 1 year. He doesn't want a two-way deal. I mean, it doesn't matter, I guess. Let's give him like 900k if we're not going to get a two-way. His shear's locked up. Bracco will give the same offer to. Actually, he wants less. Okay, that's awesome. Let's see. Vegetamo, 24.76. Time to cut ties with Vegetamo. He was pretty much scratched all year anyway. Those two guys aren't worth signing yet. Skinner's good. Larkin good. Keller. Bertuzzi, he had a really good year. Fourth line guy. 2.4. Let's see if he'll take 2 million right on. But I'll give him... Okay, never mind. He doesn't get more... He's the best deal at 3 years, I guess. We'll do that. Grabner here's an 80 overall now, so I'm just going to let him go. Not worth keeping. Svechnikov, obviously going to stay in the AHL for us for a little bit longer. Hopefully he'll grow. Case, 23.78. He's pretty good still. Give him like a 1 year, 700k. Kind of see what happens deal. Those guys aren't worth signing yet. Right wingers here. Sprong needs a new deal. Somehow he went down in overall. He was an 82, won the Calder, put up a bunch of points. Now an 81, so I mean, that'll help us with signing him. He's actually interested in a two-way deal, so I mean, he just won the Calder, put up a bunch of points. Maybe we can take advantage of that, offer him the max two-way deal here, and then if he like even grows over the summer, we have him at 900k for the next 3 years. That could really work out in our advantage. Ty Ratty, really don't need him anymore. I think we have a lot of good young players in the AHL that could use that ice time. He was just kind of like a good soldier for us, though. McAvoy, Murray, Bean, Shuba, all locked up. That's our top 4. Juleson and Jones, so they're the next 2. Like, that's a really solid top 6 we have there. Oldest guy is Trouba at 86. So let's see what Juleson wants. 5 million for 4 years. He gets cheaper at 1 year. Let's try that, because I don't know what our cap situation is going to be like. So let's go 3.5 for 1. Hopefully he'll take that. Jones also is going to want... Oh, 3.3 for 3 is pretty reasonable. So let's try 3x3. He should say yes. I noticed Shabbat's not here. I think his morale dropped, which is like, I don't know, it's so dumb. He was scratched when we were out of the playoffs and his morale dropped. Makes no sense. Hickett's here, still a good AHL defenseman, so yeah, I'll keep him on for like 800k. Same with Suter, Jarvie there, 800k for 1 year. Dermott, pretty much the same deal. Like, they're all still the early 20s, high 70s. They could get to like low 80s. Pellich here, we just got back in that trade and let him go. Don't want him. Heiskanen signed, so Shabbat here. Morale's really low, 76. He was like an 83, I think, at his highest point, and he still wants 1.5 million. So I'm just gonna qualify him for now, cause I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do with him. Dallin needs a new deal, or I think Dallin needs his first deal, so we'll give him 900k there. 74 overall, but he should get some playing time in the AHL. I'm hoping, especially dropping some of the worst players. Plekhanov here, 7th D. Okay, I'm just gonna let him go. I should have traded him if he was a draft pick, cause not very good. None of those guys are worth signing. Murray here, this is a big decision. 26.86, he's never grown. Vavalainen, I'm for sure keeping as the AHL starter, so we'll do that. He doesn't want a lot of money. Burkle there, low fringe. I'm trying to think. He's not that good. I'm going to let him go. We have so many goalie prospects. Binnington's an okay backup. There might be a better one. I can figure that out later. Murray, though, let's see how much he wants. 6 million for an 86 overall goalie. That just does not seem worth it. How much is it to qualify him? I have no idea. I'm just going to qualify him for right now, just in case. See what our cap space is like, and then see maybe what goalies are available in free agency, as I really don't know if Murray's going to be the guy or not. So as you guys can see here, Athanasiu accepted our offer. Same with Barbashev, Hickett's. Bertuzzi rejected. Not enough money, so we can give him some more. Svechnikov accepted. Dermott, Strome, Jarvie, Bracco, Sprong. So we got Sprong for 3 years on an entry-level deal, or not entry, but like 3 years on a two-way deal. That could be so big. Juleson accepted our 1 year deal. Hopefully he doesn't want too much money next year. Jones, we got pretty good. Spot check. Dallin's on the team now. So it looks like everyone accepted but Bertuzzi. I don't feel like we undercut him that much, so probably just have to give him a tad more. 6 million in cap space. So I think if Bertuzzi and Murray are the only guys you have left to sign, we might have to still trade somebody away in order to get Murray signed. Just notice this Hatcher guy here, 74 overall. He could probably make the AHL team, so give him a deal there. And alright, so Shabbat we gave a qualifying offer to. Bertuzzi here wants 2.45 for 3 years now. I feel like he's gone down. He wanted 3 million before, I swear. Let's see if he takes 2.125. I swear he's gone down. That'll give us about $4 million from Murray, which I think is what the qualifying offer is. Unfortunately, though, we can't make a splash in free agency as we're pretty much out of cap space. And as you guys can see there, Bertuzzi did accept our offer, so that was a pretty good signing. So we're now at the free agency period, guys. Really interested to see who's out there, who's available, kind of what we can do. We got $4.8 million in cap space. Taylor Hall's a free agent, looking for $8.7 million. I mean, that would be great to add Taylor Hall, but unfortunately we don't have the cap space. Could have waited a year, I guess. Instead of Skinner, we could have got Hall for around the same price, but that's all right. Pietrangelo, I mean, we already got McAvoy, really good #1 right-handed D. Falk's also available. And then you just kind of have a big drop there to Hansel, Spurgeon, Strawman, Orlov. So, I mean, really, yeah, we're missing out on like 3 superstars, but our team is pretty good. I'm more worried actually about the goalies. We'll see if Murray's the best one available. If he is, we'll definitely give him an offer, try to get him locked up. So he is, by a lot. Bebo is the next best there for backups. So let's see if we can work out a contract with Murray or not. So Murray's cheapest price, guys, is at 4 years. He wants 6.6. We only have 4.8. So I'll offer him that. Chances are he doesn't accept, but right now it only says one team is interested, which is us. So you never know. I also wouldn't mind signing Grubauer here to be our backup. So I'm going to see if we can maybe make a trade here to unload some cap space. Not looking good. Before I do that, though, guys, I wanted to take a look here at the best two-way players. So Vegemo's there, but like I say, he's kind of too old now. This Spurgeon guy, 2170, he's not too bad. Cheapest deal there, 700K, 3 years. Maybe he'll say yes. Let's see if anyone else is decent. 20 and 69. That's okay. I mean, he does have some room to grow. Smirnov's 2274. I already have a lot of centers, though. The 2069, I feel like he has more time to grow. If we can get him to 2 at the 700K, like that's just so cheap for 3 years. If he grows at all, just a great, great contract. Harris here, same deal. Give him just the minimum and hope like no other team snatches him up. Other than that, though, I'm not really seeing anybody. We'll take a look at goalies now for the two-way players. Maybe goalie somehow slipped through the draft. Manning here, fringe starter, 2071. It's pretty good. I'll give him an offer as well. Same thing, minimum deal, and hopefully no other team makes him an offer. As you can see here, that Johnny Harris guy accepted our offer, one of the two-way players. Same with McGillney. We'll see if anyone else did. I was looking at the team too. Honestly, like our team is solid aside from Murray. So if Murray can like accept the cheaper deal, we'd be ready to go. Like don't have to make any trades. We'll just have to basically wait on that. The Spurgeon guy here said he appreciated the offer. Wanted to go with a better team. So we should have maybe not been so cheap. But I mean, we did get 3 of the 4 guys for 700K, so the very cheapest possible, which is awesome. Murray rejected though, wants a higher salary. Alright guys, so I was hoping we could get Matt Murray for cheaper, but as you can see, Winnipeg just made him an offer of $7.2 million, which would mean we'd have to clear up $3 million in cap space to be able to sign him. But if we don't do that, we'll get a first, second, and third round pick back. So I'm saying remind me in 6 days, and I'm going to see if there's a trade to be made, either to clear cap space, but like I said, we'd have to lose like a solid player, or maybe get a goalie from a different team that's cheaper, and then just take the first, second, and third. I'm sure we can figure something out. Alright guys, so I'm looking through the trading block, and as you can see, LA has Bishop on the trading block. 33-year-old, 87 overall goalie. 1 year left at $5.5 million. Still has elite potential. I can't believe LA re-signed him like 4 years ago, whatever, to be Quick's backup. It makes no sense why they would do that. So I'm going to try and see if we can make a trade for him at 50% retained. Obviously, it's only for this year. We don't even actually need the 50% retained. Just enough retained to keep him under the cap for our team this year. I think, like I said, we have a chance at the Cup this year. He's actually a 1 overall upgrade on Murray. At the end of the season, we can figure out whether or not we can resign him if we have the money or whatever. But doing this and then getting a first, second, and third back for Murray, I feel would be a really solid deal for our team. Just kind of get better in goal as well. We get 3 free picks, essentially. Alright, guys, so making a big trade here. You might think this is an overpayment, but I think it should work out. So I'm trading Trouba and a first-round pick in 2026. So that's not the draft like next year. It's the one after that for Ben Bishop, and then that player that's just there for the roster spot. Like I was saying, Bishop's an upgrading goal from Murray. He's 1 overall higher. Elite potential, so he shouldn't get bad anytime soon. Trouba making $5 million. He's actually equal to like our third pairing D right now. So even without Trouba, we'll still be really solid. Just going to show you guys that right now. We'll have McAvoy, Murray, Juleson, Bean, Jones, and then Shabbat as our top 6. Hopefully, too, Shabbat, if he gets a new contract, get to like an 83 or something. Plus, we can sign him for whatever he wants, like $1.5 million or whatever. So that'll be solid. We'll also get a first and a second and a third for Murray back. So we're replacing this first round pick and a year early, essentially. So I think this will all work out if LA says yes. Let's see what they do say. They do say yes. I mean, we gave them a lot there for a backup goalie. Like, they got a a really like solid defenseman in Trouba plus a first round pick. But we can now go and sign Shabbat. We can let Winnipeg take Murray. We get a first, second, and third back. We get a better goalie. I think it's all going to be good in the end. So like I was saying, guys, after that trade, we need to sign Shabbat. He wants 1.775 for 3 years. Let's give him 1.5 for 3. I feel like that's pretty fair. And I mean, if we get him for that, he could get up to like an 84, at which case that's a steal, especially if he gets to like an 85 or something. That's just, I mean, we're laughing at that point. Kind of like the Sprong contract we have. So I think the Murray thing's going to come up soon here too. Let's take a look here. So yeah, we can't sign Murray, so we're getting a first, second, and third. That's huge, especially after trading away that first. And then hopefully Shabbat will sign with us at $1.5 million for 3 years. Get the top 6D locked up. Is he going to answer us? Not within his consideration. The 200K is just too much. So we'll give him like an extra 100K. We'll do like 1.6. And then I think we'll honestly be good for the offseason. We made some good two-way signings. I might actually look at some more two-way players as we have a lot of roster spots. We have 8. So, I mean, we could go sign even like 5 guys for 1 year just to kind of like see what happens with them. Maybe even trade them. I mean, you might as well just kind of use the roster spots if you have them. So, all right, we'll give him we'll do 1.575. Like I want to feel like I won, I guess. And then we'll go take a look at the two-way players again just to see if we can get some free assets to our team. All right, guys, so I just remembered, too, I need a backup goalie. Luckily, Anton Bibo is still available. 26-year-old, 82 overall goalie. I'm not sure if we'd have to actually give Toronto a pick for this. 1.625 million for 2 years. We'd have to give them a pick, so where would it be where we don't have to give them a pick? Or actually, could we get them cheaper? We can't. So where is it where we don't have to give them a pick? No picks required. I think 1.25 is... Oh, wait. Okay, let's just keep going here. All right, let's just keep going. I'm not sure. All right, here we go. Let's just keep it up. I want to go as high as we can because we're going to have the money. Okay, so let's go 1.475 for 2 years. No picks required. We'll see if Toronto matches. If not, that's a pretty solid backup goalie there to have behind Bishop. And right now, guys, I'm going to sign this Jaros guy, 24 years old, 76 overall, basically just to help out the AHLD. Since we're calling up Shabbat now to the NHL team, I feel like the AHLD might be a little thin. It should be fine, though. And I'm looking here, pretty much the rest of this stuff kind of like got picked through. There's really no more good like two-way players available. 22.69, like he's not even a 70 yet at 22. That is pretty bad. Also just looking for some like higher overalls. So this guy here, we don't really have that many wingers, so maybe I'll give him an offer. 1 year at 700K. I mean, I feel like that can't go that bad. So hopefully Bebo and those two guys accept. And honestly, after that, should be good for the summer. Hopefully we have a lot of growth and can make a run at that Stanley Cup next season. And as you guys can see here, Bebo accepted the offer. So now we just have to wait and see if Toronto matches. Hopefully they don't. I feel like they probably won't if they haven't already signed him. Shabbat accepted our offer, which is awesome. That Bernhardt guy did. Same with Jarrow, so just a couple basically like free prospects. And I was right, guys, Toronto did not choose to match our offer, so that's awesome. We now have our backup goalie in Bebo. Honestly, I think our team is looking very solid. All the positions are filled, so we'll someday this summer see what players grew and just kind of give you guys a preview of next season. So at the end of the summer now, guys, and here's a look at the team heading into next season. I am very excited to see how they do. First line there is the same with Skinner, Strome, and Reinhart. Second line, we have Mantha, Barbashev, and Larkin. Decided to move Mantha to the second line. Keller, Wenberg, Bracco on the third. Bracco finally making the jump. I also changed him from a center to a right wing. I figure defensive stats aren't that great, really fast. Probably actually do better on the wing. Fourth line here, we have Sprong, Athanasiou, and Bertuzzi. Sprong, even though he won the Calder last year, went down in overall. His role is a depth forward, so, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of how he has to play there. Bracco's a third line scoring forward. Mantha's a second line, so just for, like, morale reasons, putting Sprong in the fourth line. Maybe he'll play and just kind of get better. Defense here, we had a lot of growth. Murray and McAvoy still the top pair. Juleson now in 87. Jones now in 86, the second pair. Bean 85, and then Shabbat 82. So, I mean, I'm actually not minding that Trouba trade at all. He would have been playing where Shabbat is. $5 million for a third pairing D. Probably not worth it, especially since Shabbat can gain potential over the season. Goalies here, Bishop's our starter. Like I said, 1 overall upgrade on Murray. So, I think I'm really liking that trade. We got some picks, too. Bebo there backing him up. AHL team here, we have this Haberich guy, 81. We actually signed him as a free agent. He's played really well. Hischiers first line center. So I can't wait for him to make the jump to NHL either. Obviously, him, Comtois, Velarde, our three first round picks in the first season, all still growing. But when they make the jump, that's gonna be huge. Comtois playing with them there. First line right wing. Then we have this Moran guy, Spacek, and Svechnikov on the second line. We got Giovanni Smith, Velarde, and Case on the third. And then this Bernhardt guy we signed with Nosek and Grunstrom on the fourth line. Defense is also pretty solid. We got Dermott, Serjarvi, Hickett's, Heiskanen, Dallin, and Jaros. So hopefully Dallin can gain some potential there. 76 overall. He's 3 below the next 2. So third pair, rolls a minor top 6. He should be able to still grow there. And then goalie, of course, the AHL team, Vavalainen starter, and Lamb as the backup. So like I was saying, both teams look very, very good. I think both should be in the playoffs again next season, and probably both have a run at the championship. AHL team here, 83 offense, 81 defense, 80 goaltending. NHL team, 93 offense, 94 defense, 89 goaltending. So, like I was saying, guys, I like both teams. Hopefully, this is our year. We can win the Stanley Cup. 3 years straight, no playoffs. Last year made the playoffs. This is the year. Going to make that jump, win the Cup. But obviously, you guys will have to stay tuned for that. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.